Okay, this is the 7th grade musical poem. So if I come here to my website, over here on the left-hand side, 7th grade musical poem. For the 7th grade musical poem, guys, it's going to be putting music and sounds to a poem as you read it. Here's the direction sheet. You're going to be finding a poem on the internet, okay? You're going to be using the internet. The poem should take you about 30 seconds to read. I don't want it to be much shorter because then we don't get the music aspect. So at least 30 seconds. It can be longer. Then my suggestion is possibly to copy and paste the poem into a Word document so that way in case you don't finish recording in one day, you still have it and it's easy to access. Or at least minimize the internet so you can easily access it as you do record it. Once you hit record, you can open up the internet or Word and actually read your poem. So to actually record your poem, you're going to be opening Mixcraft 6. Well, let's actually open it. When you open Mixcraft 6, guys, you get 3 windows that pop up. The first window here, up at the top, record yourself or your band. That's what we want. We're going to record ourselves. Now, down here, typically this says library. Right now, it has to know what to record. So if I come up here, my first track is one audio track. I have to arm it to record. This is just like the little red circle in the music creator. So I have to tell it which track to record. There you go. Now I'm telling it to record this track. At that point, this is your sensitivity. I can turn this way up and my microphone becomes very sensitive, which means I pick up background noise. I can go all the way down here and it barely picks me up. Somewhere in the middle here is where you want it to be. So you're going to record your poem. All right, all you got to do to record your poem, come down here to your MP3s, you hit the record button, yada, yada, yada. This is my poem, good deal, pretend it's 30 seconds. Now, how do I know how long it is? Well, up here, instead of beats, I made sure it's on time. Now I know how long it is for my poem. Now, once you're up here, you can go into your effects and add different effects and stuff. That's fine. You can change your effects around. The music portion. Come down here to your library. How you sort your library, completely up to you. But you're going to put your music up into whatever tracks you need. I want at least 2 to 4 tracks. So you can do that. You can put in another track. And let's just do a 3rd track. Pretend that's it. So that would be my music. Now I have my music going along. It goes with the poem. Once I get done my music, I would listen to it. That is the next step on the directions here. We arm it, everything else. Step 2 is to find the appropriate music. Now, step 3, part 3, music that has the complete opposite feel for the poem. It's the same as part 2, but now your poem would have a very different feel. It's kind of like if it was a horror movie, putting circus music to it. It gives that horror video that you're watching a complete opposite feel. Well, same idea. Whatever your poem is, you give it the complete opposite feel by adding different music to it. So how do we do that in Mixcraft? Well, we would mute the original ones. We don't want to hear them. So we mute these, and then I do another, down below here, 2 to 4 tracks. If I ever need another track, I can go up here and just do add a track. Okay? Add a track to it, it's now 9 tracks long, and so on. So I get music that doesn't sound appropriate and, it gives it a complete different effect. I put it up top here. After I put my music up top here, then I would listen to it. Hear what I want to hear. Once I'm done hearing those, and I mute, let's say I had 3 of them, and I made a complete opposite sound. Now, for the 4th part, bring up my direction sheet again. For the 4th part, you're going to use sound effects that fit into your poem. When you go into Mixcraft and you start to sort these things, if we just sort by actual instrument, you can scroll down here and you will find all different sorts of stuff that you can have. There's 1,746 sound effects, guys. So maybe you can find some sound effects that fit in with your poem. So let's just say this one fit in right about here. But then another sound, if I just scroll down, I don't know what these are, but let's say another one, I can keep it in the same track and just put it according to where the actual sound should go in the poem. and then I would mute it. When I go to listen, I would unmute which ones I want. Okay, these three, let's listen to that. That's the appropriate. Then I go and mute them, back up, listen to the next three, and so on. Okay, now I want to listen to it with just the sound effect, so I unmute the sound effect, and so on. This is how you're going to be able to record it. Now, when you actually get done, you would do a file and a mix down to an MP3. That MP3 is something that I can listen to anywhere then. So you would mix down to an MP3 and save it to your seed folder. Any questions?